So Christie sides, as always, her post-game interviews are genuinely some of the worst things. How can you be a player on this team and not feel demoralized by Christie sides post-games interviews? I'm sorry, how can you not feel completely demoralized? So Christie sides, the first question she was asked after the game, they won the game. And like, look, you just about won that game. You came through, like, Aaliyah Boston, 20 points. Caitlin Clark, 20. I don't even know, maybe Aaliyah Boston more than 20. But Kelsey Mitchell, 28. Her first question she was asked was like, how does it feel? You had 3 players in 20 points after scoring 20 points. How does it feel to have that much talent on the team? And she basically just goes, that's impressive. But the biggest thing was how we blew a 20-point lead, or blew a 31-point lead. It's like, we need to be better. We need this. It's like, you just won a game. You just won a game where asked a positive question. And then she made sure that she put a negative spin on every single thing. And then she was basically asked, she made sure they asked, and it was like, how did you blow the 31-point lead? And she made sure, and it was like, after that, she was like, we just couldn't deal with their zone. We didn't play defense. Our players didn't shoot open shots. Like, she'll throw anyone under the bus other than herself. Before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 21k by the end of the day. We're 200 off. But anyway, Christie sides is genuinely the worst coach I've ever seen. Like, she's not only bad at her job, she will throw everyone under the bus around her to make herself look better. She'll do that. She'll throw every single person under the bus around her to make herself look better. When in reality, the only reason why she's not coaching a 5-win team, let's be real, the only reason she's not coaching a 5-win team like she was years ago, because again, she coached a 5-win team for years. For years, she was coaching a team that was barely winning a game. And it's because she looked into Aaliyah Boston. She looked into Aaliyah Boston 2 years ago. And then, despite winning 13 games, they were so bad the year before, and the WNBA draft, for some reason, is on a 2-year streak. Like, it's not about who has the best, who has the worst season. It is who has the worst 2 seasons in a row, which makes absolutely no sense for me. But because it's the 2-season thing, she looked into Caitlin Clark. That's the only reason. Like, the only reason you were winning games is because Caitlin Clark is not playing the way you want Caitlin Clark to play. That's the only reason you're winning games. Like, genuinely, that is the only reason you are winning games. Is because if you had the way you wanted Caitlin Clark to play at the start of the year, if Caitlin Clark had played that role, if she played like Erica Wheeler plays and just go dribble, pass the ball into a post, and like be scared to make any actual play, then this team would have won. I'm trying to think of how many games the team would have won without Caitlin being Caitlin. They would have still beat the Dream game when Caitlin sucked. They would have probably still won the Sky game. They would not have won that Mystics game at the start of the year. Or not Mystics. Yeah, they would not have won the first Mystics game. Like, this is a team that is currently 10-14. They probably go, I'm going to be 1000% honest, they're probably 6-18. I think they're 6-18 if Caitlin plays the way she wants Caitlin Clark to play. Which again, that effectively means you don't have Caitlin Clark. If Caitlin Clark played the way Christie sides wanted, they win about 6 games. So the only reason that your team are winning games is because your players have done what you don't want them to do. And you can even see during the game. I'll talk about this more in a video. But there was genuinely a play in the game where Caitlin Clark has had the greatest first quarter maybe a rookie has had in the history of the WNBA. And late in the first quarter, Caitlin Clark's on a roll. She's on an absolute roll. 7 assists. She is destroying them. But what does Christie sides do? Dantas has just gone in the game. We need to get Dantas some touches. Go, no pick and rolls, ball goes into Damiris Dantas in the post. What does Damiris Dantas do? Turns the ball over. She turns the ball over. That is what Damiris Dantas did. She turned the ball over. And Caitlin Clark was walking towards the sideline. And as she's walking off the court, Christie Sides grabs Caitlin Clark's arm. Like, she'll throw anyone and everyone under the bus to keep for her own ego. And again, I'm not sure she knows the first thing about basketball. I actually don't. I'm not sure. Like, based on what she has said in these interviews, she genuinely was talking. She was like, our players aren't taking open shots. One player didn't take open shots. And it's the garbage player that you keep playing, Erica Wheeler. The one player who passed up open shots in that game was Erica Wheeler. You're the only coach in this league that would put Erica Wheeler on the court with Caitlin Clark. You were the only coach in this league. Even you are worse than the coach who was hired because his dad was the GM. You are worse than that coach. Lynn Dunn, you literally made a worse coaching hire than the guy who appointed his son. How bad is that? Like, Eric Thibault doesn't know how to travel. He at least understands the sport of basketball. Or say not travel, challenge. He doesn't know how to call timeouts. He doesn't know how to challenge. But he at least understands the game. Christie Sides coaches basketball like it's 1970. Like, it's inexcusable. It is inexcusable. Like, it is inexcusable. It is absolutely inexcusable. And the worst part is that she has the most job security. She has more job security than Taurasi Antetokounmpo. She has so much job security because Lynn Dunn just thinks of her as some great young coach. Some absolutely great young coach. Christie Sides is 47 years old. Just because she's young compared to you does not mean she's a young coach. She's about to turn 50, and it was her first head coach job 2 years ago. Have you ever thought maybe the reason she wasn't getting head coach jobs was not because she was young? It was because she was bad at her job. She was bad? Have you never thought that's maybe why she wasn't getting these jobs? Not because she's a young coach. Have you not thought that maybe it's because she's just not good enough to be a head coach, Lyndon? Have you maybe not thought that? And like, the first time she threw Caitlin Clark under the bus in preseason. The second time after winning the games, she was talking about her players not rebounding, not being tough enough. Like, she is, anytime they lose a game, she will throw her team under the bus. When the reality is, there have been at least 4 games this season that have been lost directly because of her complete incompetence. But anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.